Good morning, good night, everybody, and welcome to another video on the Maybe Bray YouTube channel. This one, of course, is another preview, this time for Southampton away. I'm joined by Mike from Matchday Vlogs channel. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Bray, how are we doing? You okay?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I'll kick it straight off. What are your thoughts on Saturday's game?
Saturday's game is a big one for us. It's going to be big on two regards because a lot of Southampton fans will be looking at where Forest finished last season and be thinking, okay, this is a sort of club that we really should be getting points against at home. Another big change will be with the fact this will be the first time we'll have a league fixture against a side at St Mary's, with the away section being in a new location. So you are going to be the first team to experience what we're all calling the Northern Wall. So some of your fans might remember where the away section was before. It was behind the goal, just off to the left of it on the northern stand. We've now unified that whole stand to be home fans, safe standing the whole stand. It's kind of like, you know, that southern wall at Spurs where they did the whole thing. It's like that, but from Lidl, because it's slightly smaller. But it should be something quite special. I imagine you'll see tifos, pyros, everything happening. It'll be something to behold, and the whole stadium layout's completely changed. So we're seeing it as a big one.
Where are the away fans now, then? Please
The
don't
away
tell me.
fan.
Are they in the other end, or?
They are in the. I was going to say they've been put in West Key, like, you know, miles away in the shopping centre, but they're now in the corner between Kingsland and Chapel. So it's effectively exactly where the family location used to be. So if you imagine, I think the best way to describe it is it's exactly like the King Power now. So in the sense that the King Power has the away fans in the corner. You guys love Leicester.
So what, you're telling me that we're not going to be able to see the away fans on telly anymore?
Correct. Yeah, you won't.
On big negative points, that's brought the rivalry back on. I'm absolutely not having that. As the absolute cardinal sin of football grounds, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, because we've got the best away end in the country for people watching that, and I have to sit and watch them celebrate in front of that away end, getting all of it on the highlights every single week. And then these other clubs, your Evertons, your now Southamptons, your Man Uniteds, your who else? Your Bournemouths, Villa, your Villa.
Yeah, that's a good point.
God,
Villa.
No, that's absolutely disgusting news.
The Tree Derby's got a little spicier now.
Anyway, so you said that you're feeling quite confident ahead of the first game. How did that one go?
Yeah, the Newcastle away, to be honest with you, I think every single Saints fan was heading up north and thinking, do you know what, this is probably an okay time to play Newcastle, open day of season. Anything can happen, but realistically, we were braced for a heavy defeat. Russell Martin conceded a lot of goals last season in the Championship. In fact, it was only 2 fewer goals than Birmingham City, who got relegated to League One. So to give you any ideas of how leaky we were at the back. So we were very poised, and especially how strong Newcastle United midfielder, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, it kind of had everything written all over it. But what actually happened was we were dominating. We were able to keep possession, get possession back. We had the ball in the back of the net. It was ruled offside. Everything was going absolutely swimmingly, and then some red card incident happened, and it resulted in Newcastle United putting 9 men behind the ball. And when you're up against the Newcastle United side, arguably a top 6 side with probably one of the best defences in the league, and Nick Pope in goal, it was always going to be difficult to get a goal. I think we should have scored, if I'm honest. There were a couple of occasions where I can't believe it didn't go in. But unfortunately it didn't, and it ended 1-0 to Newcastle. But there were a lot of positives with our system, and to see it working against one of the top Premier League sides pushing for Champions League was really very encouraging. I think we're all in shock a bit, really, to be quite honest with you, but it's great to see.
Okay, well, I mean, you've mentioned the Russell Martin system. I mean, even it being a bit leaky, but it's still working. What would you say is the Russell Martin system?
It's risky football, incredibly risky football, playing out from the back, which in the Championship we did get punished a few times in doing so, but nowhere near as much as probably might get done in the Premier League. It's very quick, one-touch passing, link-up play. It's playing down the wings, playing through the middle, and sort of direct passing from each and every position. But I think the way Russell Martin likes to look at it, he doesn't see positions. He doesn't use the authentic kind of positions as you perhaps might describe them. He doesn't really use like the midfield positions as perhaps most midfielders might be used. So everyone's kind of very much a versatile player in the lineup.
Okay. Well, you said your lineup. What would be your starting 11 for the game if you could choose?
If I could choose, I quite like what we played at the weekend. Looking at the team sheets, I thought we were playing that way to be very defensive against Newcastle. But actually, it was actually quite offensive in the way we were using the system. We were still playing with 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. The new right back, Sugawara, who we signed in from AZ Alkmaar, looks absolutely fantastic. I was really pleased to see he was actually brought in as a replacement for Kyle Walker-Peters, but Kyle Walker-Peters is still here. He's got a year left on his contract, so Kyle is a very versatile fullback, wing-back player, so he can play just as well on the left as he can the right. So the great thing about that is we've got Sugawara on the right and Kyle Walker-Peters on the left, so I can certainly see that happening with Jan Bednarek, Jack Stevens and Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Taylor Harwood-Bellis came from Man City for 20 million quid. He was one of our loan players with an option to buy, option or obligation, can't remember which. So fantastic defender for the future as well. And in midfield we had Aribo and Smallbone and Flynn Downs, who's pretty much pivotal in all of this working really. He's a fantastic defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder as well. So he can certainly cause a few problems. And then with the up top, I can see Ben Brereton Diaz starting again. I can see Adam Armstrong starting. And I can generally see that generally being the lineup, really.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, my starting lineup for Forest would be it's going to be a bit changed from the weekend because, well, Danilo, I mean, you saw what happened to Danilo, I'm sure. So he's going to be going straight out. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he gets replaced by Yates or by Elliot Anderson. I think our most likely 11 is probably going to be Sells with Williams. I think that Bolly and Murillo will stick together rather than putting Milenkovic in. I think that Milenkovic will get his first chance against Newcastle in the Cup. And then Aina at left back. Then it'll stick with Sangare, and I reckon that Nuno's going to pick Yates in the middle. Then, as I mentioned, Ilanga, Morgan Gibbs-White, Callum Hudson-Odoi. There's that attacking midfield 3 with Woody up top, I'd imagine. How would you combine those?
In terms of doing like a combined 11, I'd be firstly incredibly biased to my own club, of course. But I would
find
like to
how biased you are. That's my sort of thing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, well, that's my sort of goal here.
I would definitely pick your goalkeeper over our goalkeeper. So okay, you win that one. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Sells. Then Nico Williams, or
I might go Sugawara on that one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Sugawara.
Yeah.
I really have to see more of it. But I think we're just not gonna agree on any of these.
No, we're not.
The centre back pairing. What are you thinking?
Well, we got 3. So, I mean, if you're going against, I mean, Taylor Harwood-Bellis and Jan Bednarek. Jan Bednarek's pretty underrated, I think, in terms of what he does. So, I don't know.
I'd say potentially make it a 3. Make it, say, Bolly, Murillo, and then Harwood-Bellis, because I quite rate Harwood-Bellis.
Okay, let's do that.
I think we can go with that and then take a player out of midfield. As for left back,
left back, unconventionally, you got to go with Kyle Walker-Peters, surely.
Olaine is really, really very good.
Was he the best player in the Championship last season, though?
Then I'd say potentially make it 2 in midfield.
Okay.
Instead. So then I'd be putting Morgan Gibbs White a little bit out of position, but you just can't not have Morgan Gibbs White there. That would unfortunately be pure delusion if you're to argue it that way.
Have you not sold him yet? Why has he not been sold?
No one's bringing the money for him, really.
Okay.
He's just too important. So who would be your who would you be raising for the other spot to take on against Sangare?
Well, that would either be Flynn Downs or Paul Smallbone.
I don't know whether or not I'm biased here, but I'm just not hearing names that I would take over our players. I really struggle to fit, because I'm trying to be as honest as possible here. I mean, I've made an extra spot that I probably wouldn't have done otherwise.
I've
just
changed your system. Yeah, we've changed
the system just to fit in Harwood Bellis. That's biased. I've sat here and said that Sangare gets into Bournemouth's midfield, so I don't know how I can say that. So how I can stand there and say that one of yours gets into ours over him. Remind me of your wingers again.
Wow, our wingers. I mean, we've got Samadozi, who's not really been able to cut it. He's a very talented player, and Adam Armstrong's technically a winger for us as well. And Ben Brereton Diaz, you could arguably say, is a winger as well, but they're all very much versatile players that they get moved around a lot. So those would be the ones.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling there. I'm really, really struggling, because I can so see us now after this now getting shown up at your place, and then I'm gonna look like an absolute idiot here. No, this is troubling me now. Because I know that I'm gonna end up going now and doing a Newcastle preview as well, and then it's gonna end up being all of their players too. So I suppose it sort of evens it out. Elanga and Hudson-Odoi didn't particularly impress me against Bournemouth. I didn't think that they did sort of that much. So I suppose I can let one of them go, but I'm not sure who. Well, who would you rate to be your best sort of attacker, I guess, and we'll put them in.
It's really hard because Adam Armstrong did incredible things last year in the Championship, but it was in the Championship. He had an opportunity to score at the weekend. He didn't score. Ben Brereton Diaz, on the other hand, made an absolute nuisance of himself and got in all kinds of positions. So if I had to pick one based on Saturday's game, I'd go BBD, your favourite, Ben Brereton Diaz.
Oh, God.
Because I want to say his name on your channel lots, because I don't think he's well liked. So. Ben Brereton Diaz.
He's not.
No.
He's not. He seems to have shown absolutely no respect for Forest since leaving. Well, I mean, on your announcement video for him, when they got him to run through places he'd been, he didn't even mention Forest. We gave him his professional debut.
Really?
Yeah. How ungrateful. He scored his first goal for us. I mean, as I say, he came through the last steps in our academy. I mean, how ungrateful can you be? And against Sheffield United as well last season, did you see what happened with that? He was playing for Sheffield United. He scored a penalty and then went absolutely mental in front of the away end. Sheffield United had been relegated the game before, so there wasn't even any point. This was just about keeping with us. I don't know why you would antagonise yourself like that as a player, because
he's a lone player as well.
I don't know what the point is. I'm going to look really, really thick if you get anything on Saturday now. But that's my absolutely 100% honest opinion. I'm really sorry.
I remember doing a preview with the Forest channel last season and being just as confident as you were and thinking this is an absolute must win for us. I can't see anything other than that. And it was around the time when you guys couldn't even score away. I think you hadn't won away in maybe since a few seasons ago.
That was our first win away. Season, and it was, I think, the 4th of January.
Yeah, with the away fans going mental behind me and me looking absolute shocked, like, you've got to be kidding.
That's when we hit
brilliant.
Yeah, that's so famous. The Forest, because them going afterward, it was just perfect. Before you go, what would you give as your score prediction?
My score prediction is going to be a little bit with a premise, because I've not really seen. I watched a few of the highlights of the game against Bournemouth, and I'm certainly wary of this new Chris Wood that you describe. I'm also wary of the fact that we haven't signed a new goalkeeper yet, so nothing's going to change in regards to how we're playing out from the back. So you're going to score, but I'm going to put us down for a win, because I think we've really got to get it done, and I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1 Saints.
I'm trying so hard not to look really not to look so. Oh, what's the word? Entitled. I'm trying so hard not to look entitled. I just.
I did it last time round. Just be wary of that. I did it last time round, so don't worry about it.
No, because this is such a bad look for me. I mean, if I'm right, then fair enough. But it's, oh god, I'm gonna get memed on very hard if I'm not. No, I'm seeing a 2-0 Forest win. I think it could get ugly potentially. I suppose we'll have to see, each to their own. But I guarantee you that everything that you've said is now going to happen, and I'm going to look an absolute.
I certainly do hope it's going to go the way I think.
Of course. Well, before the end, will you tell my little crew where to find you and your vlog of the game?
Yeah, you can find us just simply at Matchday Vlogs, pretty much everywhere. So that would be on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and then on X, or wherever it's called now, the cesspit of X, we're at Match Vlogs. But yeah, mainly it's YouTube and TikTok is the best place to find us.
Will you be able to get your footage of the away end, is the real question.
I'll figure something out.
Well, good luck, I suppose. Thank you very much for coming on. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow and everything for the both of us. If you enjoyed this sort of thing, I'm going to be doing more previews this season. If you're a Southampton fan watching this, then remember to like and maybe add this video to your watch later, so then you can come and make a fool of me on your social media when we lose. And obviously subscribe, so then you don't miss the vlog of Forest v Southampton whenever that game is. Stay for the long haul. Obviously, thank you very much to Mike for coming on, and that's going to be all from me. Remember to ingest cheese. Good night.